politically street, man. That's one of the coldest names you can have. Because we out here in these streets, but these politics is trickling down, so it's all intertwined, man. So we got to figure out how to work it the way we work. So shout out to politically street.
All right. Welcome to another edition of Politically Street, where we politically street all the time. We have another good friend of mine that's been out in the community. It's pretty much been almost lockstep with me for the last like 5 years, and I really appreciate it, Miss Gwendolyn Jackson.
Hello.
So, Miss Jackson, tell me a little about yourself. Where'd you grow up?
I am an Acres Home / Studewood baby.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Studewood,
Mm-hmm.
and then we moved to Acres Home when I was around 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say I'm from both neighborhoods.
Okay.
Yes.
So, did you have both parents in your household? Did you grow up single parent?
Oh no, both parents, mom and dad.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. So what about siblings?
I have 5 siblings. It's total with me is 3 girls and 3 boys, and I'm the baby.
Oh, okay. All right. So what high school did you attend?
I attend MacArthur High School. I am a Lady General.
Shout out to all these Mustangs. Real quick. No, I'm asking all this for a reason. So did you play any sports or anything? Or?
Yes, I did. My family, I come from a very athletic family. I played all sports. I played volleyball, basketball, and ran track.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So you have a foundation called the Royal Jackson Outreach Center. Can you tell me the inspiration behind you wanted to start this organization or this foundation, this center?
The Royal Jackson community, we changed the name. It was the Royal Jackson Foundation, but we changed it to the Royal Jackson Community Outreach Center.
Mm-hmm.
The vision, God gave me the vision after my dad passed from lung cancer. It wasn't nothing I was looking for. It wasn't nothing that I was trying to, I didn't have any clue that I would be running a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
When he passed, he gave me everything. He gave me the mission, my vision. It was like, one night I was asleep and he gave me everything. I woke up the next morning and wrote everything out and started from my dad passed in September. I started the foundation in October.
Mm-hmm.
And have been running ever since.
Wow. Okay. So you say the foundation, you got everything that you needed. So, or what the foundation? What is the mission statement? Basically, are you out to help just people in the community, or what is the foundation really centered around?
The foundation is really centered around is helping people with cancer.
Okay.
Because when my dad had cancer, we realized that it affected the family as a whole. It affected my mom financially because she was paying for chemo, doctor's appointment, radiation, and everything was adding up. So it was foundations, other foundations that helped us, that came in and helped us pay with co-payments and help us pay like a lot of his doctor bills and stuff like that. So without them, he wouldn't have been able to probably live as long as he did. So I want to give back the same resources. A lot of people don't know about those resources.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to individuals that fighting, and you're already fighting cancer. It's hard to fight cancer and then deal with financial things at the same time.
I agree.
So I wanted to share the resources that were so given to us.
Mm-hmm. So when you say they help, so I didn't know that you had to quote unquote pay for chemo and things like that. So insurance companies don't cover that?
Well, the thing is, the insurance company covers so much of it. Then you have to come up with the out-of-pocket expense, and
Wow.
out-of-pocket expense can be very expensive.
Wow. So that's crazy. So if you cannot afford the chemo and any kind of other, I guess what they're recommended,
You probably have to go to a government hospital like Mentorship or LBJ, and let's be honest, they'll give you, of course, the I feel like just the basic care. But I feel like when you have insurance and you have someone fighting on your behalf or saying that, hey, they deserve this treatment, because even with sometimes with your insurance company, you've been paying insurance a long time, you still wrestling with them on, you know, approving a test for you or treatment for you.
Wow. You know, it's funny you say that, because I listened to your story, and I thought about back to my mom when she was battling breast cancer. I didn't really think about, you know, how she was paying for chemo. All I know was just to take her to the place, and then I sat outside for about an hour or whatever it was, and then helped her walk her back to the car, went home, and then she sat down, and then, you know, we did it all, you know, again the next day, you know. But I didn't think about the resources and how people are being affected with their jobs and, you know, can't work and things like that, you know. So, wow, my hats off to you. I didn't even think about it like that, you know. So,
Yeah.
So do you? And I'm trying to get too personal.
Come on, if you, hey.
Right.
I'm like, hey.
Right. I mean, but you never know who listening or watching can you know, learn something from this or whatnot. So, I know that you wrote a book.
Yes.
You wrote a book called was it 7 Days?
The last 7 days.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm bad with time. Anyway, last 7 days. So, in this book, can you know, take me down this look? Don't give me everything. We want people to kind of support you and buy this book if you don't.
Really, this is funny too, because I never dream of myself being an author. Oh my God, I was grieving so badly, because I'm a daddy's girl. I'm a true daddy's girl. And I was just grieving, and a friend of mine was like, hey, why don't you start writing a journal? So I started writing a journal, and it turned into a book. And in the book, it is talking about my dad last 7 days with us, and it's the agony of waiting on a loved one to die. All the emotions that you face. It's almost like you feel like you're losing your mind. At that point, I thought I was. I thought I was having a mental breakdown. And then as I talked to other people, I was realizing I was grieving naturally for a daughter that loved her father. He'd been in my life all my life. So when I got here, he was here.
Right.
So to imagine life without him, I went through the process. I'm in a very good space now, very, very good space. And I think it took me writing this book, and this was my healing. Writing, sharing, I basically just shared my journey and my diary with the world, what I was going through. And I didn't leave anything out. I gave them everything, all my emotions, what I was feeling. But one thing that I noticed when I wrote the book, I thought about just me. My dad had 5 other kids and had a wife for 53 years and grandkids. But at that moment, I thought I was the only one that was hurting like this. So when I wrote the book, it took me, it's like I could step back and look how everybody else was grieving. And the person that I noticed the most was my mother. Because I was like, she was with this man 53 years. We are here because of them, of their love, their relationship. So I was like, at that time, I didn't even think about her. I was like, oh, mama's strong, she this. But I didn't even think about what she went through.
Shout out to Miss Jackson, man. That's like an adopted mother. She don't know it, you know what I mean? But I really appreciate her, man. Like, even when I was decided to run for city council, man, she counseled me in a couple of ways that I took her words and kind of, it's what kept me going, believe it or not. So, yeah, that's we gotta get her on the show too, because she's a walking, just phenom, because everything that she's done, you know, battling odds and things like that. So I definitely want to get Miss Jackson on, you know. So.
So that's my true mentor. I'm just thankful that I didn't have to look for a mentor in a history book. My mentors lived in the house with me.
Wow, that's
so
powerful.
I didn't have to, you know, I love Martin Luther King and I love Michelle Obama, and I think all of them are great. But the people that I looked up to and wanted to be like was in the house with me.
That's where it starts at. I agree.
You know, I think my mom was the first lady, you know, she my first lady, right? You know, and my dad was, hey, everything, you know, to me. So those that, you know, they were the individuals that I looked up to, and I'm the person that I am today. And I feel like I'm a, you know, I started off kind of, you know, rough around the edges, and I know they probably thought, oh Lord, this child,
right
woo, this baby here. But I got it together. I started off because I would have never known God would give me the heart that I have now. Because when I was younger, I wasn't like this. I wasn't. I'm being honest. I was like all about Gwen, and was, you know, was selfish and outspoken and didn't care what I said with my words, and was, you know, I would cut people up with my words. But now I wouldn't dare. I think about people before I even think about myself now.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I know God did this, because I wasn't this person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of the person now,
Yes.
you have a personal story, testimony that you're going through now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So do you care to share it, or you want to?
Oh, I don't mind sharing. The words are so powerful. Well, I won't say the words are powerful because I have power over the words. But my dad had lung cancer, and I ended up getting COVID in June. And after, I think I was down with COVID for about 2 months. And when I came out, you know, thank God I survived COVID. When I got well, I just couldn't seem to get my strength back. I just didn't feel like I was Gwen. And I went to the doctor and, you know, kept having tests done, and they found out I had cancer. So I'm gonna be as real as I can with you guys. I come from a Christian-based home. I know all what the scriptures say. I can stand on the word. I am probably a walking scripture. I can I can give it to you. But at that time, I'm gonna be honest, I was scared. The first thing came to my mind is my dad's journey, what he went through, and I was afraid. You know, I just turned 50. You know, I was like, I have so much life to live, and I was just thinking about death already. I had my funeral already planned.
Wow.
And it took my sister, Tammy, I talked to her, and she said, you know, don't speak that, you know, don't speak that over you. This is not a death sentence. We're going to beat this. And it's different when you have people standing with you. Even when you feeling weak, you have people standing with you. And one of my, I call her my adopted niece. I used to run a daycare, me and my sister. And it's a young lady named Nisha Evans. She sent me a card, and in the card she said, you're a soldier and you got an army standing behind you.
That's powerful.
That stuck with me ever since. And it's days like today, I'm a little lightheaded because I had radiation, I'm a little weak, but I won't let it define me. And I will not let it, I'm not gonna let it beat me either. So I hate to tell y'all, I'm gonna be here to stay for a little while. I'm planning on just folding and, you know, giving up. So yeah, I got a fight on my hand, I'm ready to fight. You know, I always been a feisty kid, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to ride a 10-speed at 3 years old. So I'm still that kid.
Wait a minute, how you ride a 10-speed at 3 years old?
3 years old, I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit down.
Okay.
I just rode. My brother John, he'll tell you, he taught me how to ride a bike at 3 years old at 10-speed. And then he turned around and taught my son how to ride one at 3 too. Okay. Now my son didn't know how to stop, so he was running people's cars. But people tell you that's from Studewood, Whitney Plaza, back in the 70s. They'll tell you I was fight. Yeah. So I still know I got that in me. I'm still that little girl in now. So
I witnessed a little bit of your fight. You know what I mean? And I'm being transparent, but like so. You know, Houston just went through a major snowstorm, a winter storm, and your outreach. You know, I think 2 days before.
2 days before.
You got a lot of resources, a lot of food and things like that. And so at the time, you really didn't know when you're not talking. You didn't know that why you had gotten it, but then you said God showed you a vision, saying, "Look, it's not for."
I thought it was for my food pantry. I was excited. Yeah.
Right. You know, and so so I've seen you over the last couple of days, put boxes that overflowed, that pretty much had your worker bees a little upset. You know, with food that flowed, that was just, it was abundant, a lot of food in there, a lot of water. You know, so watching you still go through this, and then go through your I guess I don't want to call it a testimony just yet, but I guess it is a testimony, because you're walking testimony, going through radiation, going through your everything of what cancer does to you, and the healing process, and still thinking about other people. It's like it speaks volumes of who you are. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you.
I think I appreciate you saying that, but I think it's not. I can't take the credit.
Of course not.
It's God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was tired from. I wasn't glad we had a snowstorm, but I was glad I didn't have radiation, because it gave me time to, get my strength back, because I be nauseated and I can't keep anything on my stomach. So I was able to eat them couple of days, and I had some strength them couple of days. So while I was laying there, I was gonna be lazy. I came in my mind, shoot, Sylvester, Mayor Turner got this. I'm not, I'm gonna be all right this round. I did Harvey, I did all this, so I was gonna rest. And while I was laying there, God told me, just explain, that food wasn't for your food pantry. I gave you that food because I knew what was about to happen. And I need you to get rid of the food. So then I got up and I was like, hey, I called my team, which one of you, you on the team, so I'm calling you guys, and I'm like, hey, we got to get rid of the food. But I was like, Lord, we don't have any water. I can't give people food without water. So I'm calling around, and a couple people hurt my feelings. They was like, well, you're a small organization. And I don't think I'm a small organization. Because, what, you can't let people define you.
Right.
We big dog. I'm not a small organization. I don't think small. You're not gonna put me in a small box. So no. So they was telling me, well, you don't know politicians and you don't know these people, so you won't be able to get water. So I went back to the Lord. I say, look, I know you. I need water with this food. Now, how I'm gonna get the water? I don't know where you're gonna get the water from. But I'm not gonna call anybody. And especially politicians that don't know me, and beg them for water. You gave me the food. Now you don't have to show up with the water. Hey, out of the blue,
yes,
young lady called me. Kathy Tatum called me. She said, "Hey, if you bring your team, I'll find you some water." Candace, one lady on my team, been with me day one. She drove around all day Saturday. But we have some water.
Right.
And we had food. So. One thing I know about, when God give you a vision, He gonna make sure you have everything you need when He give you the vision. When you move on His will. Now, when you start moving on your own will, things not gonna come into place, and you're gonna get tired. Because people tell me all the time, you don't get tired, you don't get burned out. Every morning I'm fired again. I want to keep pushing the work. The Royal Jackson. I don't get tired at all. I get. My steps a little shorter these days, and I might say sit down, but the fire that's in me is still burning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. With that being said, tell everybody how they can find you on Instagram or Facebook if they want to donate to you or things like that. Okay.
If on Facebook we are the Royal Jackson Community Outreach Center. On Instagram I am under. If you put in the Royal Jackson. COC, or you can put in Gwendolyn Jackson, I think it's 763, it will pop up. It would, it would show up.
Okay, so you are a nonprofit, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm a nonprofit. We legal. We are, we're a nonprofit 501c. Yes, look us up. You can go on GodStar, put in Royal Jackson Community Outreach Center, and you will see we are a 501c3.
Okay. So besides the food pantry, what else you got planned for this year as far as any kind of ventures or?
Well, this year God has blessed us with a suite. We have an office, so we're gonna start with the food pantry. We're gonna do a food pantry with supplies. We want to have medical supplies in the food pantry. We want to kind of have it like a store. We're gonna have medical supplies. We're gonna have food. Cleaning supplies, personal hygiene, where individuals that have cancer can come in and get whatever you need. Everything is free. We're gonna do a couple fundraisers throughout the year, so we can start back up with our co-payments with with our cancer angels. I call them cancer angels. So we can keep blessing them throughout the year. Every year, everybody know we do our backpack drive. We weren't able to do it this year because of COVID, but we won't let COVID stop us this year, even if we have to just put them in the cars when you drive up. We always do something for Easter. We're gonna still do that. Our Easter eggs, and make sure the Easter baskets, and you know, I usually be the Easter bunny at the nursing homes. Hey, you do what you have to do. So
right.
we'll be still doing that, doing things for Mother's Day and Father's Day. You know, calendar. We're not gonna stop moving. I don't care how weak I get. If hey, my team gotta push me or whatever. Hey, we still moving.
Yeah. Shout out to One Love. That's the group
Yes.
she's talking about. It's 3 organizations that come together that help the Royal Jackson Outreach Center throughout the year. So shout out to One Love. So I guess, I don't know. You have so much to give. I think that we pretty much hit on everything, you know. So hey, y'all, this is another edition of Politically Street. Make sure and go on YouTube and subscribe to Politically Street. Look for me on Instagram, Robin_J_Anderson on Instagram, and then of course Facebook is Politically Street. So with that being said, see y'all next time. Peace.